Hello everybody and welcome back to a new episode of Titan Repairs. On this channel, we fix our favorite consoles from our past. My name is Chris, and we're going to be taking a look at this Xbox 360 Model S that has a little bit of an issue with this disk drive. Let me show you what's going on with it. Alright, so this is what's going on with the drive. See, as it comes out, it gets a little wobbly towards the end. Like it's getting kind of gummed up a little bit. And it kind of shakes going back in a little too. So yeah, you saw what it was doing. A little bit of wobble there. So I'm kind of thinking best course of action, obviously, is to get this thing apart, get it down to the disk drive, disassemble the disk drive, and see what's going on in there. I'm kind of thinking that it's gonna probably end up being something simple. I don't think anything's broken because I don't hear anything rattling, but who knows? We'll see. So yeah, let's get this apart and see what we can find. Okay, first things first. Gotta deal with this cover here. So while I'm at it, I'm gonna just pull out the hard drive. We'll just set this aside. It's really dusty. This actually kind of came out pretty easy. Usually it doesn't come out that easily. Alright, and then next we're gonna just put the spudger under here. Let's try and pull up. It's gonna be very gentle. I do not want to break any tabs on this. There we go. Completely intact. I will put this aside to be washed. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of dust in here. Which honestly could be, we'll see when we get the disk drive open, it could be actually the root cause. Alright, so now the fun part. So underneath, in each of these holes, we have a clip. And this part's going to be pretty difficult because we gotta try and feel around and release the clips. Actually, this part actually came out. It's not what I wanted to do. This part's a real pain, so bear with me here. A lot of people use a screwdriver. I'm trying it with the pick. Just try and get underneath. Because none of my screwdrivers are fitting real well into those holes. So I'm just putting my spudger in between where I've already gotten it out, just so it doesn't, oh, never mind. I guess I didn't need to do that. Just so it doesn't fall back down and relatch. But yeah, we got it apart, no problem. So yeah, you got 6 tabs on the hard drive side. And yeah, real pain in the butt. All right, that's one side down. Let's work on the other side here. So what does kind of help is if you use like a pick and then go underneath the plastic and then grab a hold of the tab. It seems to help a little bit. I'm about to lose that one, so I'll just shove something in there. Yes, there we go. If I can just get one tab going. It's also been a while since I've opened one of these. It's all coming back. Slowly but surely. All right. So close. There we go. Put that in the pile. All right, so this part's gonna be quite a pain in the butt. So we gotta unlatch some of these latches that are in here. And there's some on this side. And back here. And then some of them are hidden deep inside the console. So I'm gonna do my best to record this because I've actually been trying for a few minutes now, and it keeps going out of focus and stuff. There's really no good way for me to record this part, so yeah, don't be surprised if we kind of skip through this when the shell's off. Alright, I'm gonna try this really thin screwdriver in here, see if I can get it into the seam. Because I know there's a clip here. Oh, thank God that one came out. Alright. Alright, so we got this piece off, so we'll just toss this to the side. Yeah, I don't know why Microsoft tried to make these 360s so difficult to get into. Like, their own techs have to be working on these things. Like, I don't get it. Actually, wait a minute, this ain't gonna come off. I got an idea. Instead of messing with this, I forgot these black screws hold it down. So, yeah, let's take these off and then we'll just kind of shimmy it out. That's not the size I need. Maybe this one? Nope, too big. Next one down, maybe? There we go. That one was in there tight. Alright, yeah, we got quite a bit of dust here. There might be a little bit of foreshadowing what we can expect in the disk drive. Still hung up on something here. What's behind this door? Ah. Microsoft and their warranty traps. I do want to preserve that, so we're gonna just kind of leave it up here for now. Five screws. Alright, now we should be free. I just want to remove this connector, just make life a little easier. So right here, this is the Wi-Fi card. So to pull this up, it's kind of attached to the shield. So I think the shield's attached to the plastic. So we gotta take this off. It's actually amazing. It looks like it's just a USB. I wonder if you were to plug in something in there, if it would read it, like a thumb drive or something. Let me know in the comments. I'm actually not sure, nor have I ever tried it. Whew. That is wickedly dusty. Man, this is definitely dusty. So, this whole chassis needs a good cleaning. So, I think we're going to dig a little deeper into this on the next video, but for now, let's just focus on this disk drive. And yeah, like I was saying before, based on what I'm seeing in this system, I think we're definitely going to be, I definitely think it's going to be a little bit of foreshadowing what we're going to find inside. So we just have to unplug these two things here, and then yeah, just comes out. Whew, yeah. A lot of dust. Alright, first thing we need to do is take this rubber piece off, which actually feels very dry. Hopefully it doesn't break. It's going to be very careful. Yeah, I saw some cracking on it, so hopefully we can get that back on, but we'll just have to hand clean that. So it looks like we have 4 screws here, but first we got this pesky warranty seal. So I'm just gonna cut this with my X-Acto knife. That takes care of that. And then now we can take these 4 Phillips off. All right, the moment of truth. Yeah, there's a decent amount of dust in here, that's for sure. We still have to get the bottom shield off, which I'll just actually throw that in the wash pile. Oh, it just slides out. Well, that's nice and convenient. Whew. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at all this dust in here. I bet this is the complete cause of those shimmies. It's even all crusted on the laser. Yeah, this is gonna get a total clean. So I want to manually release this drive, but obviously the tray is stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my spudgy here. And there it goes. And this disk drive belt doesn't look the healthiest. It definitely has been sitting for a while. Oh my god, the freaking dust. So I think it might just be best to replace this. I could try and boil it, but I think I have extras of these. I'll have to check. My experience is usually just best to replace these because it's kind of a hit or miss for me if I can actually boil them back into shape. So, okay, now how do you get out the rest of the way? Yeah, the dust makes it so difficult to see anything. Alright, we'll throw that in the wash pile. And so now we got more disassembly to do here. Alrighty, so next up I think we're just going to kind of take all this stuff out, all the gears and everything. Yeah, it'll probably be easier if I could get this out of the way. Take these 2 screws out first. Yeah, that's still held in there. I think I actually have to take this out first. But I'll finish up here and then we'll flip it over. Yeah, that thing's definitely like a teardrop shape. I should have extras, but I think they're for Xboxes, but I'll have to double check. But with 360s, the drive belt is usually a problem. Alright, so let's flip this over. Looks like we got 2 thermal pads on here too. We'll have to see if I have the right size, because maybe we'll just replace them. And these wires are all soldered on, so we'll just move this out of the way for now. Oh. What's if the laser's not attached? There it goes. What I'd like to do is get this completely disassembled, because then I can just wash it. Okay, Alright, everything else to get this stuff out has to be done from the other side. So, of course those have to be a different... Is this Torx? I think this is Torx. Yeah. Alright, and then we'll just set this aside. We're going to deal with this later. Alright, back over. Wait a minute, this is coming back to me. Guess I should be able to... Yep. Alright, so my camera overheated, and I'm not sure where it stopped recording, but I think this is about where it was, so... yeah. So we're gonna pop this off. It does get kind of stuck here, so we're just going to kind of pull that up and then out. So now this can just slide out there. Yep, that's what just came out. I guess that just slides out. And we just have these two screws here to get the motor off. Alright, everything's free, so we'll just dump this into the wash pile. Alright, so we have all the plastic parts here, so we will just take these to the sink and let them soak for a little while. So I'll wash the plastic parts on the disk drive and the shell and all that stuff on my own, but now we're going to shift attention to this. We got to get this apart, but first I want to get some of this dust off. So I want to start off, I guess, getting the rails out so we can take the laser off, because we have a lot of cleaning on those rails, so. Take off these metal things that are holding the rail down, and they'll just slide right out. And we got this one. Just want to see if these are the exact same. Yeah, they look the exact same, so I don't have to worry about them getting mixed up. Okay, and these two screws I know I already took the rail out, but I want to back this one out. It'll make it a little easier getting it back in later. This one will completely take out. Okay, now we gotta... take this out. Well, that was easy. And now the rail should just slide out through the top. At least that was what I was hoping for. I don't think I'm gonna get that lucky. I think I have to, for this drive, I think I have to take the worm gear out. Well, what's that worst that happens if I'm wrong? I ruined the disk drive. Because it appears like it like locks in the laser here. So maybe if we just move that out of the way. Because the laser's still in the way. Yep, there we go. Look at how green the grease is right here. That's definitely needs to be cleaned. So as well we have this out, and that'll make it a lot easier to clean. And I think that that's as far as I'm going to go, because I can wipe all this down by hand. So, yeah, let's actually do that first. I'm going to use my 91% alcohol on this. No particular reason. I just feel like the little extra cleaning power that 91% has might benefit it here. This really shouldn't be coming off this easily. And maybe on this particular drive they do, but usually they're pretty on there. You just have to squeeze them and then pull them out. These just kind of wiggle their way out. Whatever. Alright, so I'd say that this is quite clean. We'll just clean off the two rails real quick. And now moving on to the worm gear. God, it's actually so much nicer having it outside the drive. And this felt a little greasy too, so we'll just give this a quick wipe. Alright, let me get a Q-tip with some alcohol on it. Just got a quick wipe down here. Alright, not bad. You know what, just for good measure. God, these are so soft. Like gummies. Yeah, usually they're a lot harder than that. So I guess it's just the design of the drive. Very interesting. Okay, now with everything clean, now we can just start reassembling it. Alright, so this is gonna go underneath like that. I don't think I want to lock it in just yet. Next, let me get some grease out. Because we are gonna have to grease this rail before we put it on. Or at least somewhat. You can always move the grease around after the fact, but I like to have a healthy bead of grease on before I put the laser on. Oh yeah, lubed up. Alright, so how do we do this? Okay, let me carefully flip this over so I can lock everything in, and then we'll continue on with the reassembly. And I have not forgot about the worm gear. I'm just going to do that more closer to the end here. So yeah, the grease that I'm using is just your standard white lithium grease. You can pretty much get it at any auto parts store, but I also have a affiliate link if anybody needs it there. Actually, everything that I use in my videos, I have affiliate links down in the description below. Alright, slide that in there. Good. Well, I actually think I might have went a little too crazy with these screws. Let's back them out a little bit. Because you set the height. Yeah, we'll just have to come back to these. Let me just back this one out again too. Yeah, I think we might be good on that. Double check the screws here. Yeah, basically what I'm looking down for is to make sure that everything seems even. Which actually this one can probably be backed out just a little bit. So I want to try to make it even with this one. We'll try it there first. Okay, now all we got to do is just put the grease in the worm gear here. You know what? I'm going to back these out one more time. Should have paid a little more attention to where these were positioned. I think it'll be all right. I think they have to smush down just a little bit so I can get this around. There. Everything should be in nice and tight. Well, now I'm arguing with myself whether I should back those screws out a little bit or not. It's what I always do. I mean, they do look even to me. Like parallel, I mean. You know what? Instead of getting too much into my own head, I think I'll just throw caution to the wind. If it doesn't work, we can always fiddle around with it more until we get it to work. I'm just a little afraid of the, what am I trying to say? I'm a little bit afraid of the laser angle, because if that's not right, then we'll probably get a disc read. But hey, if it reads, then we're golden. Probably should have paid a little closer attention to when I was taking those screws out, where exactly they were. So, yeah, pay a little closer attention to that if you're doing this yourself. But I think it'll be all right. All right, so this is basically as far as I'm going to be able to get today on this. This is all ready to go back into the plastic, but because the plastic is, well, currently drying, can't really do much with that right now. So, yeah, we'll just set this aside for now, and we'll come back tomorrow and then put everything back together, and hopefully this all works. And we are back. So everything's here and nice and clean. So all we have to do is just put this drive back together. So we're gonna set the metal chassis aside for now, because I wanna focus on this guy first. So I wanna start on the top here and put the gears and things back in first. But what we're gonna be using to re-grease everything is this multi-purpose synthetic grease. It was recommended me by a bunch of viewers, and multiple people said I should give it a try. I decided to give it a try and drop it. Let's see how this goes. I've used it before, it's actually pretty good. Put some grease on here. And then in the middle here, now we have that grease. I just want to grease these up as well, just the gear cogs. And actually, we'll put a little bit on here. There we go. Everything seems to be moving buttery smooth. Right, so then next what we got to put in, we got to put this in, which goes upside down, and then this piece as well, which is also lubricated. So we got a couple things on this we got to put some grease on. Want to put it on these cogs. And then on these nubs as well, because this will go into the plastic here and raise and lower the disk drive. Oh, and this grease is plastic safe too, so if you're going to be greasing disk drives, that's kind of what you want. I got low in there, so this should be good to go. So this should go. Got a little ahead of myself there. Does go this way, I believe. Oh, and actually, there's two spots here I just want to put a little grease on. It's going to be riding along that as well. Just a little bit. Should be more than fine. There we go. Yeah, that should be good right there. Yeah, just testing this mechanism. It's moving very smoothly. So I think that this is going to bode pretty well in the end. So, all right, so next we're going to flip this over. All right, so now we're going to put the rest of this mechanism in here, the sled and everything. So I believe it goes this way. It's just so weird because usually disk drives, you put them in from the top. This is just interesting now, it goes in from the bottom. Okay, I'm putting the screws in diagonally, that locks that in. So I can just zip them in. So before we put the circuit board in, I do want to take care of these thermal pads real quick. I mean, they don't feel bad, but since we're already in here and it's probably going to be many years before somebody opens this drive again, I think it's just best practice to replace them. Now I do have this variety pack that I have lying around that I use for PS2s, but kind of matching these up, it does appear that it's 2 millimeters. So at least these two are. This one looks pretty squished, but I think this probably was 2 millimeters and then was smushed, which I think it'll be fine. So we're just going to cut 3 little pieces off here. Use this as a guide. It doesn't have to be super accurate. Yeah, it's a little bigger, but whatever. Alright, so now we're ready to put this back in. And now I just gotta remember which way this all goes. There it goes. It wasn't too bad. Stay open. That should be how that goes. There we go. So you gotta move this tab over a little bit and then drop it in. And now I can clean up these wires a little bit. I'm not really happy with how I did this, because it's gotta go underneath here, which is okay. We can fix that. There we go. I can live with that. Now we just gotta flip this over and screw these back in. Actually, I almost forgot the screw has to go in. It goes right here. Alright, so these two screws are going to go here. Alright, and then that's in place. And there's one piece I forgot to put in earlier, but that is okay. As it goes this way, this metal piece goes on top here. That's two. So I went and looked at my bag of tricks, and this belt on the right is the one that I usually use for Xbox drives. But this one on the left is the original one. You can kind of see that it's a lot bigger than this one that I have. But I'm still going to use this one because I don't know if this stretched out over time. But either way, this belt does not feel good. It feels very, very dry, and it has really no flex to it at all. So I do think it actually stretched out. Now this one's got plenty of bounce to it. So yeah, just put this in and hope for the best, I suppose. Yeah, I think that's fine. So just a little more lube and we should be good to go. The dab right there, because that's what's gonna ride along the grooves in here, which, sure, why not? We'll put a little in there. Last but not least, just to help the cogs out a little bit. And then over time, it'll just kind of work its way in and out, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, I think I squeezed it in. And then the last thing I want to do, which is the cherry on top, before this gets sealed up, is take a little 91% alcohol and clean the laser lens. great. Yep, that's right. Top goes on first, then the bottom. Why that is, I don't know. Yeah, that didn't go all the way back. Oh, Microsoft makes things so difficult. All right, just 4 screws to go. All right. We are all back together, so now all we have to do is just put this in the Xbox and pray that it works. Plug this in. Just gingerly place it there, but I think it also needs the hard drive to work as well, so I'll just... Yep. Sure, that'll be good. But I do think we need this on as well. Maybe not. Actually, yeah, I think we do. I mean, how else are we going to power it on, right? Guess we just gotta plug it in and see what happens. Alright, we are at the main screen here, and I now realize I put this ribbon cable in upside down, so this is completely useless to me. Oh well, probably should have paid a little closer attention. But no matter, because I could just go to open tray here and we can test it out. So yeah, opens, closes pretty smoothly. Come on, open. It does do a little bit of the weeble wobble right at the end, but I think that that's normal for these drives, so I don't think we're going to get it any better. So, yeah, I guess really the only thing else to do is just make sure that the laser still works. So, I got a copy of Halo Reach here, just my test game. Let's see what it does. It's really spinning up there. That's a good sign. And ta-da! Alright, great. So yeah, not too bad. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it for the most part. It's just a shame we couldn't get the rest of that weeble wobble out, but I think it might just be a design quirk within this particular 360 drive. If we weren't going to solve it with the kind of stuff that we did with this today, I don't think that it's going to get solved. I mean, we have a new belt, we have new grease, it's been completely clean. I don't think there's a speck of dust in there. And if it wasn't going to completely solve that issue, it never was. But yeah, I mean, it's gotten better though, so it's not as bad as it was when we first started. So yeah, that counts for something, right? So, yeah, I guess all we have to do now is just tackle the rest of this system, because it's pretty dusty in there. It's pretty gross. So, make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already, so you don't miss the next video where we completely tear the rest of this apart. We'll do some thermal paste, check to make sure all the capacitors and everything look good. And yeah, I think once this is all done, this will be a good system for somebody. So, yeah, I guess that's it for this. So for the game for this week, I think what we're going to do is something take us really back to the 2000s and play a game by a mascot of a certain burger place. So let's play a little bit of Pocket Bike Racer. You gotta love that king. Thanks for watching. Alright, we're at the main menu here, and you gotta appreciate the live-action king on the menu. They really need to bring this guy back. It's so deliciously 2000s. Alright, so we're just gonna do a free play here. Alright, so we got a few different level options. We got the parking lot, backyard track, the King's Garden, under construction, Fantasy Ranch. Might have to do Fantasy Ranch. That looks trippy as hell. Yeah, rotate random. Yeah. Let's do Fantasy Ranch. Battle Royale. Core Racing. Standard Race. Yeah, we'll just do a Standard Race. 2 laps. We'll just keep it at 50cc. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so... we can select different players here. So we, of course, have the King. Brooke Burke, don't know who that is. Subservient Chicken. Whopper Jr. Winston. Christina, you gotta have the Burger King employees represented here. Biker. Jolly. And then random, whatnot. Let's do... Subservient Chicken. And then got different choice here. Let's go with the Little Dipper. Got some country music playing. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. You know, I do have to say, the graphics for this game, for being a Burger King game, it's actually not that bad. So this kind of reminds me of a bit of a mix of Mario Kart. Definitely some Mario Kart influences, and maybe Wipeout. Because you get weapons that you can... build up to. I think that last one's kind of like the tortoise shell. Ah! Just landed on a firecracker. No King, you are not beating me. Yeah, take Rocket up your butt. Ah, thought I was away from that. Oh my god. That one is so annoying. I think the Rocket's like my favorite one, but I'll throw a firecracker down there. I don't know what this one is, this particular rocket. Maybe like a homing rocket? Ah, come on. Yes, I'm aware I'm going the wrong way. Guess Christina beat me there. But hey, the King at least came in 4th place, so that's something there. Alright, so yeah, that's a round of Pocket Bike Racer, so thank you so much for watching, if you've made it this far, and I'll catch you on the next video. Kinda having a hankering for a little BK right now. Maybe I'll go and get a Whopper.